And I'd like to say my warmest welcome to any colleagues that are here. And first of all, I'd like to say my gratitude to the colleagues and the president of ECOSF, Eco Scientific Foundation, that help us for broadcasting and making this international webinar via the Smart University of Medical Sciences. As you know, SMUMS, Smart University of Medical Sciences, is a university for having virtual activities for the aim of, let's say, educational justice, and with contacting with anybody in the world and in the country to have very fruitful and, let's say, very improved knowledge in the field of medicine, the field of medical education, and any related sciences and field of study here. And so we have now today again a webinar with Dr. Hassan Zafar Baluch, that is a very, let's say, famous and very good reputation in the medical education and e-learning. As you know, I'm going to have a very short introduction about Dr. Hassan Zafar Baluch, that is a senior manager in e-learning with International Medical University of Malaysia. And in this role, Hassan manages and leads e-learning team consisting of instructional designer, graphic designer, multimedia designer, LMS administrators, portal management, and providing all aspects of online, blended, open distance learning, and MOOCs, massive open online courses. And he is also a module coordinator for e-learning for health profession education. That is very important. Health profession education, I'd like to say, is a very important part of our duty here. And then, because many of the health professions that are graduating from their universities, medical schools, and everywhere, when they want to go to the field of working, they need, let's say, health profession education, because getting the good skills in this field is very important. And here, as you know, Dr. Hassan Baluch is a very, let's say, well-educated and well-experienced in the field of health profession education. And let's say he is appointed as a section editor for section editor for Journal of Medical Education for future demands. And he was appointed as a visiting professor of e-learning in the School of Medical Education and Learning Technologies in Shahid Beheshti Medical University and University of Medical Sciences, let's say. And he has more than 25 years hands-on experience with implementing and e-learning and technology-enhanced learning in higher education. I'd like to say the warmest welcome again to Dr. Hassan Baluch, and then that we had before a very, very fruitful lecture about the usage of AI in medical education. And now here, this webinar is about micro-credentialing for upskilling medical educators. As I see, Professor Tayyibi is, let's say, attending to this webinar. I'd like to say my warmest gratitude and welcome to Professor Tayyibi. Before starting, if you have any comment and if anything to say, please tell us something. And then after Professor Tayyibi, we'll hear the lecture of Dr. Hassan Baluch. Professor Tayyibi, do you have my voice?
Assalamu alaikum, dear Dr. Ahmadi, How are you? And also
Thank
Dr.
you very
Zafar
much.
Baluch. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let me keep a stay with you and let us, Dr. Zafar Baluch, to start presenting. And I hope this would be a very fruitful presentation again, and we will enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much again. I'd like to thank you and your dear colleagues that they let us to have this, let's say, occasion to use your platform and broadcast this webinar internationally. And I ask you and your dear colleagues to say or to share the information of this webinar with other countries of the ECO, and then it would be a good for ECO Scientific Foundation and ECO countries to use this, let's say, webinars, and if it's so. Thank you very much, Professor Taibi, for your, let's say, contribution. And then please, Dr. Hasnain Zafar Baluch, the floor is yours, and then we all listening to your lecture in this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmedi and Professor Tayebi and ECOSF, okay, for supporting this webinar series of webinars, and I really appreciate Smart University of Medical Sciences initiative, sharing the knowledge, and I'm just a little part of it, Okay, so the topic, hopefully you can see my slides.
Yes, we can see your slide.
Okay, very good. And feel free to use chat, because on my right side, chat is always on. So topic is about micro-credentialing, in, I think, 2023, I went to attend AMI, and we presented a pre-conference workshop. And surprisingly, in 2023, when I presented, the participants from Europe were not comfortable with this term, or they were saying, okay, we we don't have like recognition yet, But I think now I will share some of the facts also. Now a lot of institutions and managements and even companies, or hospitals, they realize that's the way forward, how we could upskill our workforce, and especially medical educators, because of due to a lot of busy schedule. The moment you get graduated with basic or undergraduate level degree, you don't have much time to come out of your practice and back to institution to upskill yourself. So the moving forward, micro-credential could be alternative. So I will be touching a bit and exploring, benefits, introduction, and then I will share our own, experiences when we implemented at IMU University with micro-credentialing. And in Malaysia, the Ministry of Higher Education or Ministry of Education is emphasizing on this, like every university, they should launch micro-credential courses. Okay, so I will do some introduction, then I will dive in, share with you some of instructional design models. And using these models, I will touch a bit on how we can design, how we could, develop, or how could we deliver, these micro-credential courses. And then share with you some of the current trends, then highlighting the digital badges concept and gamification. So you can always actually incorporate this to engage learners. And then majority of content currently, learners prefer to use video-based content. So I will touch a bit on video-based, but you as a micro-credential course designer or owner, feel free to mix all these strategies and know your learner. So if you know your learner, how they would prefer to learn better, use those strategies, and then I will be sharing some of the engagement strategies. Then comes in assessment, and if you have any questions, so I will cover that. Now, before I jump into micro-credential, so let me go back. History of e-learning, okay? In 1960s, the first computerized training program. So just imagine, in 60s, people were using computers to conduct training programs, In 1970s, birth of user graphic interface and mouse, the mouse we use, that was in 70s, Then in 80s, the personal computer era begins, okay? And then 1990s, the first digital natives, they were born. Okay, right. Thanks, Dr. Amadi, for sharing that message. Okay, so those who born after 1990s, they are digital natives. I'm not, okay? I have to do disclaimer. So majority of us who talk too much, they are not digital natives. We are immigrants, So those who born after 1990, make sure when you're designing, bring them in design team. They could bring very good ideas. 2000s, a lot of companies, they provide e-learning courses for students. Okay. Then 2010, the new wave of mobile. Now everybody is carrying smartphone. And these smartphone or the smartphone I'm carrying is actually faster than the first computer I bought, or even now faster than the computers. And 2020s and onward, we are talking about collaborative, mobile, on demand, and blended learning. Okay, I have put the auto, transition to manage the time. Okay. So blended learning is coming very strong. And during COVID time, we did a lot of experiments, and we can actually implement very nice blend of content, blend of delivery modes, even blend of facilitators. This is very good example. I'm from Malaysia. I'm originally from Pakistan, but now residing in Malaysia. And I'm delivering content, I'm delivering, knowledge, I'm learning from people around the world. So that's a very nice blend, okay? Now, understanding the power of micro-credential. Okay, what is micro-credential? Let's see. Can anyone type? There's no right and wrong. Just share what comes first when you heard this term, micro-credential. One word, you can type in just single word, or you can even go and Google the definition and copy and paste. I don't mind. Yes, please use chat. Let's see, we have around 28 participants here. Anything comes in when you heard or when you see micro-credential? What is it? Can give few more seconds. Okay, a type of modular courses. Yes, very good. I'll be touching on that, the modular courses concept. And credit base. Okay. Yeah, and it's like kind of a continuously professional development approach, Yeah, very good. Okay, so let me share with you the key basic definitions and what we should incorporate into micro-credential course. So we should be focused, okay? Focused on outcomes, okay? Focus on topic or skill, but there must be a flexible way. Flexibility in terms of duration, in terms of assessing the course content, but the overall objective of these micro-credential is to reach you to a mastery level when it comes to competencies or skill. And you see, it's a specific area, right? Offer a flexible. That's a very important and key feature, because if you go back the title slide, I was telling you why we need micro-credentials. Because of our busy schedule, there is a gap. I want to learn some skill, but I don't have time. I can't take leave, long leave, even 1 week leave from office, I can't. So how? So this is where when we have a flexibility, you don't need to leave your work. You can actually access the material online and in efficient way to advance your skill in a chosen area or field. Okay, flexibility is very important. Again, what actually just now Dr. Ahmedi highlighted, like modular courses or credit based. Yeah, it should be focused on competency based. Okay, and the whole idea of micro credential is to acquisition of demonstrable skills and knowledge. Now here EPA is also coming in, right? So we can incorporate that also. So, but competency based is another keyword when we are designing or implementing micro-credentials. Now, we can use micro-credentials to enhance existing skills, okay? Like you have a basic level of skill. By completing a micro-credential, you will have 1 or 2 level higher in that skill. Or explore new areas, okay? Uh, you did medicine, but you are now appointed as HOD. Now you need to learn management. You can do a short my series of micro-credential courses in upskilling you about management. So that's where the bridging the gap between education and employment can take place, okay? Now, can be offered, this is very important, standalone. One micro-credential, you do it, you finish, you get digital badge, that's it. You can put on your social media that I have earned this skill at this level. Or it could be stackable. So this is very important and very critical, and I would say good benefit of micro-credential. If you plan nicely, for example, you break down or unbundling the curriculum. This concept we heard, way back from Dr. Prof. Ron Harden and few others, in medical education, that unbundle the curriculum. So this is where, if you have a bachelor degree or you have a master course, you unbundle into micro-credential courses and give learner a path that, okay, you do first one course, you get credits that would be stackable, or sometimes certain institutions, they allow, like if in a master course, you have 10 modules to complete, they allow you to complete three, 3 to 5, it's all up to you, your accreditation body in your country, how flexible they are, and they are allowing you to accept this way of delivery. So you can ask your learner to complete your 5 modules in a micro-credential delivery mode in a very flexible way. And after that, you can stackable to your degree program. So you will exempt those credits, those courses which they have completed using micro-credentials. And then they can continue their master program with a normal mode. Okay, or in Australia, I heard it's very flexible. They are like, even the government emphasize, like, because the moment you get money, you pay, you earn these skills or credits. The moment you don't have money, you can pause, you can wait 6 months, even 1 year. They are such a flexible, because sometimes economic situation don't allow us to, take money out for paying the fees. But all credits which you earn will be saved. And that's where now they're talking about portfolios. So hope is clear now, right? Yeah. Anything, any feedback or any term you want me to explore more, I can explain more. Yeah. Okay. If all clear, just put 5 in the chat. Let's see how many of you. 30 are there. Okay, great. Just type 5 if everything is clear. Okay, thanks, Dr. Ahmedi. How about others? Just type 5 if everything is clear. Okay, thanks. Baghari, right? Dr. Ahmedi. Okay, good, good. Okay, so let's move on. This is a recent report from Coursera. I think some of you are aware of. Coursera is a platform which offers these kind of courses, short courses, even MOOCs. So I extract these images from that report, and if you want that report, I will be sharing in the chat. You can read. It's 40 plus pages, I just extract this. You see the credit adoption for institutions that offer micro-credentials. That's 53% more, Like if your institution is offering micro-credential courses, the credit adoption will be higher of higher education. And the leaders say their institution offer academic credit for micro-credential. And 82% said, they said in that report, their institution plans to integrate or expand for credit micro-credential in next 5 years. So more than 80% institutions, according to this Coursera report, most probably it will be America and Europe and other developed countries data, they are planning to offer or even accept credit earned using this way, micro-credential way, okay? Now, this is the chief content officer at Coursera. So Ms. Bernie, she highlighted, so I would like to read word by word, Micro-credentials are valuable for learners at every stage, okay? Let me tell you, in even our undergraduate program, we are offering electives courses in a micro-credential mode. And students love it. They don't have to be in a timetable, and they have to come to campus. No, there are some compulsory courses. For example, patient safety, communication skills, ethics, professionalism, all these courses which they can do using the micro-credential. Yeah, so whether they are building foundational skills, so I already explained to you, like even in undergraduate or even in foundation, we can put that micro-credential. Exploring new career paths, or they are exploring new career paths, or upskilling to keep pace with the changing job market. Now we can't run away from AI. Everybody have to learn AI or AI features in the tools which we are using. Some of my slides I generated using AI. I will be highlighting those slides, okay? Now, our report, like Coursera report, reveals that 95% of higher education leaders offering micro-credentials, they believe they can strengthen students' long-term career outcomes. Why? I think everybody will agree with this statement. When we come up with the curriculum, design, planning, approvals, easily it will take a couple of years minimum. By the time we launch the course and our students graduate from that program, I think easily 40 to 50% content will be obsolete. So once they graduate, there will be a huge gap between the market demand when it comes to the skills and the program we designed 5, 10 years, 7 years ago. So how to fulfill this gap via micro-credential, okay? So micro-credential, you can actually always easy to design, develop, get approval, launch. Okay, if you have any LMS, you can convert that into a micro-credential platform. Slight tweak, I can actually highlight if you're interested in. That's why we are dedicated to pertaining with top institutions worldwide to design programs that blend academic rigor with real-world relevance, setting learners up for lifelong success. So this is the statement which I read. I think everybody will agree with this. And once you start implementing that, I think you will start believing it. Okay. Sometime, if you recall way back, we may be implementing this mode of delivery or mode of learning. Okay. For example, we may not be calling them as micro-credentials, you know. For example, way back, I'm talking about 50, 60, 100 years ago, if you want to learn some skill and you came across to know that, you know, there are some senior surgeons in another city, what do? You will call that surgeon, professor, I want to spend few weeks with you to learn the skill you are practicing. If he or she accepts, okay, you will do that apprenticeship. Once you complete that, you come back and you can practice. And he will give you like, okay, now you are reaching to that level of your competency that you can practice independently. So we are just changing the way of delivery. That's what I would say. Okay. Now, rise of micro-credential, that's a global trend now. Meeting workforce need, as I highlighted, there will be always a gap in traditional programs, educational programs. So micro-credentials could equip learners or individuals to fill that gap or upskill according to the current job market. And it enhances self-directed learning mode. You can learn on your own. Majority of micro-credentials, more than 90% of content will be asynchronous mode. Only 5 to 10%, it depends if it's very, like for example, implant. We have created a micro-credential course for implant, but prerequisite is all of them must be practicing dentists. Then they can join that course. They will do the case, they will learn the techniques, then they will present. Even in asynchronous mode, they will record the video, and this is successful. Very popular micro-credential course for implant, you know. So all dentists, they can register that and upskill themselves, and they can do the implants, you know. Okay. Fueling the global economy, for sure, when you launch this micro-credential, you will have more jobs, okay, for sure. And there will be a lot of activities going on, you know, in terms of LMS, instructional design, videographers, and sometime if you upskill in a new area and you get more job perspective, okay? Right, the growth adoption of micro-credentials. So if you notice, there is increase in publication, research publications, they discuss about design, delivery, and impact of micro-credentials on upskilling the workforce or learners, you know. And a lot of universities and colleges, they are started incorporating micro-credentials. Yeah, and even in certain countries, they use micro-credential as a teaser, you know. They want to hook learners to their programs. They offer a micro-credential. Let them experience how this program will be delivered. So they have a chance. It's like a trial, you know. So they complete that short micro-credential course, and then if they like, they can join the program. So these micro-credentials could be like a feeder to your actual program. And majority of countries and regions now, they're recognizing it. You will be surprised when it comes to computer science or technology-related degrees. Majority of multinational companies, they don't want to see our degrees. Even if you give a degree, they will put aside. They will give you a problem. They will say, okay, do, solve, create, okay? Now they want to check your critical thinking skill, your analysis, how you incorporate, how you learn new skills, you know. So degrees, the relevance of degrees in technology, okay, not in professional area, is reducing, you know. Like, I don't want to name, but all big companies, they less relying on degrees, you know, or even grades, you know. They are more relying on skills and these micro-credentials, you know. Okay, by the way, this slide I use Gamma to create, okay, and then modify a bit. Okay, let's dive in. Any questions so far? Now everybody clear about what is micro-credential? What is the importance of micro-credential? and what is the current, trend going on in the world, Rapid skill acquisition, yeah, one of their clear advantages. Yes, allows learner to quickly acquire new skills and enter. Yeah, very right. Thanks, Dr. Ahmedi. Now, I'm diving in to more on instructional design, okay? How we can use instructional design principles when it comes to micro-credential course design. Let me tell you, it's very critical because of short duration, highly focused, and highly flexible. If in a program we design wrongly or we overlook certain learners' need, there is a chance. There is a chance that you know they can come face to face and they can discuss and we can rectify. But when it comes to very short duration, make sure we spend extra time, look upon all, do the proper need analysis of your learners, the resources. I will be touching later on in one slide what are the key elements you need to go through and do the need analysis or readiness test. Are we ready? Are we ready in terms of content? Okay. So instructional design principles, once we follow these models, they will minimize the risk of failure. Okay. Now, this is a Delphi approach where all these key elements or areas will help us in designing effective micro-credentials. So learning mode, you have to ask who is our target audience. If they have privilege to have a stable internet connection, then you can consider online, fully online. But if there is some infrastructure issues, or even software issues or resources issue, then you need to switch to blended approach or flexible learning modes to accommodate diverse learners. So you need to merge. Let me tell you, like micro-credential is your conventional delivery, whatever lesson you learn, and your uh, open and distance learning mode, and this is in between. So we could actually use micro-credential approach to address all that. Now, learning approach, employ active learning methods to promote engagement and deeper understanding. And we need to do constructive alignment between our learning outcomes, the activities we are going to design, courses, or even the material we have uploaded, and the assessment. Okay, so this is very important. And then I would emphasize to use universal design for learning principles or framework that could actually helps us in addressing the accessibility or inclusive learning experience for learners. I will touch a bit in just following slides. Okay. Now, I'm going to share one of the framework shared by Prof. Rozan Idrus. This is not a typo error. This is actually the term he used, technogogy. Technology is a conversion of pedagogy, technology, and content, and the learner, okay, or learning style. So according to Prof. Rozan, each and every learner will have a different value for these parameters. Like certain learner may well versed in pedagogy, so, but not well versed in the technology. Maybe very good to absorb, same as Deepak. Yeah, yes. So something similar like that. So we need to, once we apply this, I actually deliver several workshops together with Prof. Rozan, and we have even assisted a few universities in Malaysia and in South Africa, also in Maldives also, where they have implemented this technogogy framework and they change their content. Not everything need to be changed into this format, but you can Google and you can get the papers, uh, by Prof. Rozan. Okay, another framework which I want to learn and emphasize more is given by Professor Noor Hamimi. And he suggested this Uber University concept, where um, on the right side we have a learner designer, and they have to know the learning styles, and then left side we have a learner Okay, so learners, we need to know what's their need analysis, how we could engage learners by incorporating interactive learning styles and self-assessment. And then we move in. That's the part where instructional design, and here they are sharing Gagne's 9 events of instruction. You can use any instructional design model or framework, okay, or principles, and where you can come up with the content, pedagogy, and the last thing would be the technology. And then you deliver your content. Before you're delivering to your learner, you should validate by experts that whatever you design, is it valid? Does it make sense? So your micro-credential could be following this, and then don't forget to tag, and then always give feedback and reflection and to enhance your content. So if you apply this model, there's a very less risk involved that you may fail. There's always room to improve. We are not always perfect, okay? Then this is what Gagne's 9 events of instruction, one of my favorite model, where you can actually break down, you can chunk your content, and you can say, like, every time you deliver something, make sure there is a gain attention. And there are many ways. You can start with fact sharing, video, then state the learning outcomes very clearly, then recall the prior knowledge, then comes into core content, then provide learning guidance, provide learning activities, ask learners to, do those activities, give feedback, assess them, and then share with them once they complete that content, what next, how they can apply. I think everybody knows this, those who are in education, right? Now, universal design for learning, uh, three key principles, or four, I would say, using universal design for learning principle, engagement. So make sure we have multiple ways for learners to engage with content, peers among themselves, how they can engage, with facilitators, with systems. If you're covering electronic health record, interaction with system will leads them to more powerful learning, rather than they are listening to you. Any skill base, like clinical skills, you need to let them feel it, let them immerse into it. Then only the skill will be transferred. Then comes in representation. Offer various ways to represent information so that all learners are able to understand. Okay. Then comes in action and expression. So these are the key elements of universal design for learning framework, where you encourage learners to demonstrate their understanding and skills through various methods. Don't just deliver and assume learnings will take place. Don't just record a video and things will transfer. No, you have to actually let your learner repeat, engage. Okay, you can actually interact. The more they do this demonstration, collaborative activities, the more they will learn. Okay, right. Now, another key elements when it comes to instructional design, content is very important. Okay, then comes in design, how we design that content or design the activities, and the flow. Okay, what comes first? Where we have to emphasize, where we have to take a pause and say, okay, feedback, reflect what so far we covered in our micro-credential course, or in our course, or even in webinar, or even in workshops. Sometime I will take a pause, okay? I will ask, please key in what so far we covered, okay? So that's how you need to manage that flow. Okay, if things are getting bored, I will change something else. So how systems nowadays with AI and LMS, now they are actually coming up with more personalized learning experience design. So how we could incorporate that, and Bloom's taxonomy, I think we can't run away from that. That would assist us. This is one of my blog posts where I covered Bloom's taxonomy different level. I'm working on putting all AI tools also. So soon, I think I will publish on my blog at different levels, which tools, the AI related tools, these are normal tools, But some of these tools already have AI features, okay? Just to let you know, like for example, Beyond, or even in PowerPoint, if you use Copilot, you subscribe to Copilot, you will have the AI features. Even Zoom have that AI feature. I'm just picking some of the, yeah, Moodle, the latest version, 4.5 and above. I think they have incorporated AI also. Yes, Evernote also, they have AI, okay, few other tools also. Right, now essential skills for micro-credential designers. If you are given this task, for sure after this webinar, some of the senior management will ask you to, okay, let's design micro-credential. So make sure you should have a basics technical skills. What are the features available in your learning management systems? What are the authoring tools? Whether to use PowerPoint throughout, it will take a lot of time, okay? Or some other tools. I will be sharing some free tools after a few slides. You can use those tools and speed up the design, interactive content design and development, okay? Then assessment design, very important. Just now I was telling you about constructive alignment. So what we want to achieve when we are going to design micro-credential course, okay? So we need to know how we can assess learners, so that to achieve that competency level or that skill. So sometime, if you have resources, I would recommend you to incorporate virtual reality or augmented reality or even simulation, scenario-based learning concepts, where because that's the good way for learners to demonstrate and be very immersive into learning those skills. You should be strong in communication skills and project management skills. So these, again, this slide is made by Gamma. For last 3 years, I'm using free this tool, because there is a referral link. So every referral, you will earn some coins or points and you can reuse. So this one slide, if you design, you will get 40 coins. You need 40 coins. And actually this image left, I also use AI inside Gamma, and I modify because according to, like I just modify, give some prompt and it generates. So 5 coins can be deducted from your balance. Okay, so far everything okay? Any question? Shall I move next? All okay? Okay, so thanks for the feedback. Yeah. I'm sharing some of the digital resources. So while you're designing your micro-credentials, do consider e-books, okay? Or e-resources. I know sometimes you have a challenge. You are not allowed to access everything, or there's some restriction. So you, in your own institutions, you have a digital resources. Go contact your librarian or library staff. They can tell you, even old theses, convert them into a digital form. That could be a very good resource. Use open educational resources, e-journals, videos. I will be spending a bit more time on videos. Question banks, online databases, exam databases, share among different institutions, come up with the question database or question bank and share among different institutions. Because as in introductory remarks by Dr. Ahmedi, he highlighted, he would like to share knowledge, and this is how we can collaborate. You can enhance the quality, e-portfolio, e-community of practice. This is how what we are doing now. And there are a lot of open educational resources. I think I have put 2 slides to share. You will forget Google and all those. Then a lot of institutions, they have central digital repository, and don't underestimate social media for teaching and learning, and MOOCs. MOOCs, if you merge 4 or 5 micro-credential courses together, you can make one MOOC, okay? So building blocks for MOOCs could be micro-credential courses. So now I'm moving into video video-based content, and I change the term. Don't confuse. Micro-credential and micro-learning are two different terms. Even in my own institution, some of the lecturers, they interchangeably use this. So you can have micro-learning in your micro-credential course, okay? Micro-credentialing is more where we assess whether you have attained or achieved some learning or skills or not, okay? So let's move on, video-based content. You can use PowerPoint, okay? But make sure you have a voiceover and a talking head. I think the latest version, they have that, where you don't need to use sophisticated technology, studio. You just sit in front of your laptop or any machine with camera, and there will be talking head somewhere you can adjust right, bottom, up, and convert that into a video, okay? And you can use capture, screen capture. I can share some of the free tools. That's, as we go down, the level of interactivity will go higher, okay? The least one is voiceover, right? And when it comes to screen capture, if you are showing some process or some coding or some step-by-step thing, then screen capture is very nice. Live cast, like what we are doing now, is higher interactivity. You can stop me, you can ask in the chat, can you explain what do you mean by live cast? So I can pause. So you are having more interaction with the facilitator. I can take a poll. I can give you in workshop, normally we have a breakup session, right? Sorry. Okay, then comes in H5P. And I have tested 2 years ago. I have done a workshop also in Iran. This tool is accessible and it's free. If you're using Moodle, you can ask your team, technical IT team, to incorporate this. And if you're using the latest version, this H5P is already a core block in the Moodle. I will touch a bit only on interactive using H5P. Then comes in 3D models, okay, or 3D elements. So that's also very interactive. You can rotate. You can, even in PowerPoint, we have 3D models. You go insert, there is a 3D model, and you can search. They are adding a lot of medical, like kidney in 3D, some of the bones 3D models. Only challenging part is when you're in a slideshow mode, you are not able to rotate it. So you can copy paste multiple images of same, same organ, and then rotate it. So then you can show different angle. That's how you can work around. And then the last one, very, very interactive, very immersive, but very costly. You need mixed reality, augmented reality, or virtual reality. So all depends on resources you have, how much you want to invest. You can have a micro-credential using, like in implant, some of the universities, some of the procedures, they are actually doing this using the VR or augmented reality, actually, or mixed reality, the new goggle. And then whatever they are doing is transmitted to the senior surgeon remotely. So some of the procedures, you can do that, but test, make it error-free, the solution, and then it can, for learning purpose, is safe. You can do this. Okay, type of learning when it comes to video, you have a skill presentation. I was telling you, like voiceover, talking head. Then you can use animated videos. There are a lot of tools which you could use to animate. Then comes in normal video recording. So you need a proper camera, proper, orientation, storyboard, lighting, everything you need to adjust. Then comes in screencasts. If you want to show step by step something, how to log into LMS, how to actually use simulation software. So you can do screencast. And the interactive video, which is H5P, I will show you basics only. Now, this is a very important slide. I would like you to pay attention. And it's like a building block. If you can understand this slide, you can have 40 hours of micro-credential course easily, 80 hours, 120 hours, because you just need to repeat. Number one, introduce the topic, and then pick the most common and most important type of challenge in that topic or problem, and give them example and some more examples, and let them practice. Then move to second most common type of challenge under that topic. Give some examples, let them go through flexible and extremely targeted approach for teaching and learning. Small unit. Sometimes it's just part of outcomes, okay? Not complete one outcome. It's a one outcome, you have multiple sub outcomes. So pick one outcome and then you can convert it into a micro learning content. You have short messaging, huh? Yeah. So a one SMS could be a micro learning content. On the roadside, when I visited Iran, amazing. Your graphic designer, the signboard, there was I don't know Persian much, but looking at the signboard, I could understand the message was conveyed while sitting in a car, and there was a traffic jam, and I look at the right side. The whole message was to reduce the salt. Okay, so that signboard is a micro learning content. A flyer, infographic. I think I will share it. Yeah, this is all could be a micro learning content. A patient got accident, need the blood. You need to test what is the blood group and then which blood can be given to that patient. Very short game. So you practice. And podcasts. Podcast is now getting back again. I think if you go watch my YouTube, I recently explored Google Notebook LM. I'm not sure whether it's available there or not. I haven't tested yet. So these are the different types of depth of knowledge provided targeted practical skill may lack the depth and comprehensiveness that comes with. Yeah, so to address that cons, you need to come up with the learning paths, because you can move on if go back to showbiz, like you have a drama, you have series, you have a big story, but join together. So you can come up with sources or in a sequence to achieved. Yeah. Thanks for the feedback, right? Just jump in.
You
Can you
mean
repeat it?
safe? You mean safest?
Yeah. Safest approach is blended approach.
Safe
Yeah.
about what? Which kind of safing? Safe.
Okay. You see, if you go implement high tech, people or learner may not have internet connections throughout a day available. So then you may miss certain portion of your population or your target audience. They will not achieve that outcome. So hybrid approach, they must have a synchronous activities and asynchronous activities. Okay, not every outcome you need a video. Then it will be boring, you know. So hybrid approach will address. If you have computer, then you need to design activities so that particular student or learner no need computer to complete the outcome or activities or tasks. That's why I was highlighting it's a mix of your conventional programs and open and distance learning So the way still in Malaysia or even in UK or even in other countries, still people are learning by post, you know. Material is coming, they will read, they will send the assignment. So there are certain people in villages, they don't have IT. We always think of high tech and low tech, but we forget there are certain people who have no tech, no technology available. Yes, phone is there, but that phone is not for teaching a learning purpose. There were cases in Malaysia during COVID time we explored. Uh, one family, like only one laptop. So multiple students, multiple children have same time class. So we can't afford that. Then the government took the initiative, NGOs come in and they deliver, you know, basic laptops. So this is where what I mean by use the hybrid approach. And that approach could be multiple, even in pedagogism, even in facilitation. You can come up with the designing micro-credential course with multiple institutions collaborating together. That would be a great hybrid or blend approach. Okay, hope is clear. So here in this, I have shared on the left side what activity we have, how we can use in the middle, and right side is a suitable tool. Not every tool is free in this table except H5P, yeah, and Powtoon, maybe they have trial, but majority of these tools are you need to pay. Okay. Now comes into digital batch. Hope I'm on time, right? We have almost 1 hour more, right, Dr. Ahmedi? Okay.
Yes, 1 hour,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, if you can complete your lecture for like
Sure.
45 minutes. We have 15 minutes for question and
Q&A.
answer. I think
Sure.
that, yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. That would be nice. Okay. So when it comes to digital badge and, you know, visualizing the achievement, so that's where gamification could come in also. So in most of learning management systems now, they are incorporating this feature. So by the time you post something in a forum, and you can put even completion tracking also. So you can announce to your learners that I want you to post 5 new topics and 10 topics you need to reply. Then only you will be having a completion for forum activity. It all depends on number of your students in a cohort. If you have a large number like 50, then you can increase this number. If you have just 5 students, then every student should post at least one, one new topic and reply 2 topics. So you can set, and it will be doing automatically. You don't need to go and check forum. System will track. And then you can give a badge that you were active in forum, or you can give a badge on completing some skill, some assessment in your micro-credential. And it's noticed, although it's a very simple thing, but learners or systems or micro-credential courses or even MOOC courses where they have these digital badges or leaderboard or showing some gamification element, engagement is high and completion rate is high. And you can simply allow, like in Moodle, they have that feature. You can copy your badge you earn to complete that task and share it on LinkedIn or on your social media. So that's how. And if you really want to make it formal, I think someone was messaging me from Iran about blockchain, you know. So in Malaysia, they have implemented uh, certain courses, they incorporated blockchain. So what I'm trying to highlight, like you can verify these digital badges. There are platforms. It's a similar way like the degree, you know. If I want to apply a job, the employer will verify our credentials or degrees from either accreditation body or from the university itself. So we can have a digital badge verification that it is issued by an authentic body and only after completing certain requirement. It's not like you just click and you earn badge. So that's the importance of digital badge. So I foresee, this is my personal opinion, in future, um, paper-based degrees, nobody will ask. So if you go like in our institutions, we have a profile. If you click my profile, the digital badges will be there down. The more badges, you can click the badge. It will tell in detail. This badge Hasnan have earned due to completing this skill. For example, communication skill. For example, AI basic level, AI intermediate level, AI advanced level. And who issued this badge? And if there is expiry date, you will get all details about that digital badge hosted on an independent platform. So when I, as a learner, show that digital badge, anybody can verify. So I'm just sharing another research project, very good research project. If universities like Smart University or Medical Sciences and other universities work with ministry and with stakeholders in coming up with standard digital badges for certain competencies, amazing. That good values, you know. And then once you get that badge, the hospitals and stakeholders will hire you because they know you have that skill and up to some quality. Okay. So these are some of the benefits which I just explained to you, you know. And you can, again, I think I will share with you some slide how you can design micro-credential courses, because we all agreed, with all due respect of my educationist or professors, with all due respect, it's the process which make us a bit uh, old, you know, old school, because it takes a lot of number of years to approve accredited program. You know? So that's why there is a gap. To overcome that, the employers, when we give our product, our output, our graduates to the hospitals, they will always complain. Oh, they don't have this skill. They don't know even how to handle patient. Very simple skill, right? They don't know even we need to seek a permission before touching a patient. Simple thing. Or even in a process. So how to avoid that? We can ask our stakeholders, hospitals and all ministry or accreditation bodies that, okay, give me what you want in our learners as a graduating professional learners. And we come up with micro-credential based on market need. Then we ask them to recognize this micro-credential. Okay. Now,
Okay, what is micro-credential? We have been talking for so long. So just to summarize, it's actually a certification style qualification, and they are short, low-cost online courses, and it provides learner with digital certification or a digital badge when they have completed all the tasks.
hope you can hear just now the sound, right? Because this was a recorded message. So this is what I was telling you, hybrid approach. You know? I don't need to talk throughout, myself. I can record. So here we are explaining, certification style, or Dr. Ahmedi highlighted like CPD or competency based. And you see here the micro learning. So you can, and every they call them as mini degrees or nano degrees. Or just digital. Okay. Now, key elements, you need to test the ready or not. What are the features? Are you ready when it comes to LMS? Content. Do you have content, a lecture, slides during face-to-face session into a micro-credential and online delivery mode and assume same level of understanding will happen? Never. So you need to convert, you need to transform, you need to change the mindset, because in lecture you always look at your learner, and you can always ask, or learners have opportunity to ask you, right? Ask anytime they don't understand. But when it comes to asynchronous mode, they don't have that option. They may have option, but it's not live, it's not synchronous. You may provide, a forum, or nowadays even chatbot, AI chatbot. They are actually now incorporating that. So, okay, please register for all participants is a message. Okay, are they ready? How far they are IT savvy, and then make sure the management clearly understood. Some of these micro credentials are not for, if management for sure will ask, what is ROI? Very, very challenging question to answer. Some of these MOOCs, micro-credential courses or micro-learning concepts are not for earning money. It's just for uh, presence, for your branding, and for, just now I was telling you in Australia, they use certain programs. They offer a micro-credential course free of cost so that you know how that program will be delivered, what kind of activities. And then if you satisfy with that microcredit, then you can register a full-fledged program. So this is how management should be backing your initiative when we are talking about blended learning landscape for micro-credential courses. Okay, hope is clear. Anything you want me to elaborate further, please let me know. If all okay, just put any number, maybe 7 today, now. Just type 7. Okay, thanks. We have 44. Great. Participants. Okay, thanks. All clear, right? So you need to go through this. This is on a macro level. When it comes to ID, constructive alignment, that is micro level of micro credential, okay? And let's move on. Lesson learned here. I'm sharing, again, this slide I use AI to, edit and design. You need to focus on needs. This is what I was emphasizing also. Like you need to go and check what is required in the market. Then you can do that, convert that topic or that part of your curriculum into a micro-credential course. Okay, so you could do that. Then flexibility is key. Make sure your micro-credential is flexible and address the diverse need of learners. Okay, some learners are very busy, very, very busy. So don't only design your content to be accessed using laptops. Make sure it is mobile friendly. Okay. So while they are driving, they can actually go through material. There should be Nowadays, majority of LMS and majority of websites, they have a feature you no need to read. There is a speaker sign or icon. You click it, it will transfer text to speech, text to voice. So mobile friendly. That is another element of flexibility. Then big picture perspective. What will be next step for learner? That's where I was telling you, when we are designing or planning stackable micro-credentials, you should have a bigger picture in mind. Okay? So that will be very helpful if you know what would be the destination, how far these micro-credentials will bring the learners. So you can draw that path. So if you complete 3 micro-credentials, you name those 3, you can actually go and you fulfill the prerequisite for Master in Public Health. I'm just giving example. Or any other program. So you could actually draw that path, and that will motivate, and that will even increase the value of your micro-credential. Okay? Yes. Being a mobile-friendly content was a good point. Yeah, sure. No worries. Okay, let's move on. Now I'm moving on sharing tool. Sorry, I used the old graphic actually. Just sometime you have to do this to grab attention, okay? Because sometimes you go out of context, like some of these tools are obsolete, okay? Even the icon of Facebook is old, Chrome is old. But now from here onward, I will be using and sharing with you some of the tools. Majority of the tools I will share will be free, okay? The first one is Gamma. Okay, this is a AI enabled, and if you use this QR code or this URL, let me share the URL, okay, in the chat, okay. So that's how you earn, you earn coins. So once you register, please follow this. You can have your own referral link. So I already pasted in the chat, use this link. Every one of you who will register using this link, I will get 200 and you will get 200 coins. Once you register, go to your profile, get this referral link, share with your friends. You will be surprised how much coins I have, because every workshop I do, I share this. I have 20,000 coins. So if I'm giving freebies, okay, gift to all those who participated in this webinar, if you want me to design a slide deck for you, I can give me topic and I can use my coins and I will send back to you PowerPoint. That's the powerfulness of this AI enabled tools. Let me put in slide show mode. Okay. Yes, hopefully you can see now. So I repeat again, once you sign up, go to your profile, create a QR code for the referral link in your account, share with your friends, family, and you can use. For last 2 years, I'm using. Hopefully, Gamma will not stop this feature. Very, very powerful feature. But if you really like this application, so do subscribe. It's not that expensive. Sometimes it's just like less than $20 per year. Okay. Okay. Another tool, it's h5p.org. Another powerful tool, if you're using Moodle and other LMS, do check with your IT or e-learning team. Ask them to install this H5P or the latest version of Moodle. There's a feature already there. And I'm using this for more than 3 years. And very nicely designed templates available in H5P. You can download these templates. You can come up with the scenario base. I think 2 years ago, there was a conference. I did a workshop on immersive learning. I use H5P and it works very well in Iran. So you can use your smartphone. You have in your camera panoramic view. You can do all the recording of your rooms. Virtual tours, you can design using H5P. You can design very nice clinical scenarios. Okay, h5p.org. Let me share this link also here in the chat. Just give me a second. Oops. And I use H5P as free version as org. There is a paid version with AI also, .com. A bit expensive, but worth it if you really like this. So let me put in the chat. Oops. Okay, H5P. So once you sign up, so it's a very basic thing, you know, like templates. You need to download template. Yeah, you see here examples and download. So click on that, and you should have your material ready, you know, before you can modify. For example, if you want to design a scenario, clinical scenario, you should have patient details, you should have all the test results in digital form, and then you can attach, and you should have a story or flow. If it's your own patient, with all due respect, even you spend 30, 20 years of experience, 30 years of experience, how we learn, very good. The moment you are in a clinic, is a part of our DNA. But when we ask senior clinical surgeons or clinicians, what would be the next step? Sometimes they forget because the patient is not in front of them. In front of them is word, no, word. So we ask them to please type. They will miss up a lot of things. So storyboard is very important, and the story itself. So come up with all that, do the vetting, correct all the small issues at the storyboard level. Because when you publish the content, a small spelling error, it will take a lot of time to do re-editing and republishing. So hope is clear. And I use several templates in H5P. I use even virtual reality and augmented reality template also. For virtual reality and augmented reality, you need 2 devices to manage. And it's very powerful. And it's free. Okay. So if you are interested in knowing more about H5P and all this gamma, you can actually arrange a full one day workshop or 3 hours workshop on one tool. Then we can go and touch each and every feature. That would be a fun, you know. Like how I did the 3-hour workshop, and the participants all were sitting and they extended 1 more hour. That is amazing. That's how I respect Iranians, you know, like amazing. Like normally in Malaysia, 3 hours too long, you know. 2.5 hours, they will start, you know, like making sound, you know, like it's over, it's time up. But I really enjoy it, like, you know, using this H5P. Okay, so this is another free gift. When normally I do physical workshop, I distribute chocolates, okay? That's another gamification element, you know? You motivate them. This is open educational resources search engine. Google will not tell you what are the open educational. Merlo.org. You go, you will be amazed. There will be a lot of books. Hopefully it's accessible there.
Please share the link again. Thank you.
Sure. Let me type in the chat. Merlo.org. And there is a conference going on in US, Open Learning Consortium conference, and Merlo is one of the sponsors. So I've been using this Merlo, and there's another open educational resources search engine. You can try, if it's accessible, you can try, put in a keyword. It will give you lesson plans. It will give you assessment. It will give you books. I don't know whether you have, can I confirm you're seeing now, Merlo, browser?
Yes.
So you see, more than 100,000 learning resources are available. Okay, more than 200,000 registered members are there, and more than 4,400 members institutions, and just recently 520 contributions. So when people have something, they will upload, and it's free to use. Okay, so please explore this. So when you are coming up with micro-credential course design, wow. So now they have added this. I yet to explore this. They are allowing you to have a content builder there. I need to explore this, and then maybe I can share, or you can watch this tutorial and you can learn on your own. So you can go to this, sign up. You can create a short micro learning content, upload, and people can learn from your content. Reusability concept. Okay. So amazing. This is one thing. The other one I would like to share is Oasis. So let me share the link also here. Yes. So this also is a very powerful open educational resources search engine. Let me search. Oops. So you can explore these two and no need to regenerate wheel. Use all these resources which are allowed to be used. I think this link got some issue. Let me check the spelling. Oh, yeah. There was issue in the spelling. Oh, yeah, I'm just searching. Yes, it's loading. Yeah, perfect. So let me copy and share the link in the chat. You will forget Google, I think, once you start using these two search engines. So this is how Oasis looks like. And you see, amazing. They have videos, podcasts, learning objects. So if you go back, this was the concept we call reusable learning objects. So they have shared that. Even primary sources shared, textbooks are shared, courses are shared. So interactive simulation also shared. So I yet to explore because last time I used these two about a year ago, So I can't tell you what is the current status. Even last time I tried for basic sciences, yes, they were very nice simulations when it comes to chemistry, biology, physics, even nerves, they have very nice simulations, and it's free to use. Uh, okay, so this is how you can explore. Okay, there are 448 records available. Okay, so you have this open educational resources with the help by subject. Okay, even they have audio books also. Okay, any question on these two search engines? All clear, right? Hopefully it's accessible. Okay. Now, I think I'm almost ending my webinar. Pedagogy should be at a driver's seat, okay? Technology is just accelerator, and there must be a passion, which is a gas, okay? So don't let technology drive, okay? Technology will drive, then we will, once the tool gone, we can't move, right? Pedagogy should come first. Your method, your technique. If your pedagogy is wrong, how sophisticated tool, we will fail. And you need to have passion. If there's no passion, with force, yes, we can do, but after that, it will be not long lasting, right? Okay, so this is my
Sharing.
YouTube. All the recordings will be there. If feel free to subscribe, share, and this is my blog. I think recently I have published my year end. I use this time I don't need to write, just half an hour before New Year night. So I actually go use my AI tools and I put all my social media accounts and I ask them to summarize whatever in a year I was doing. So this is the beauty of AI now. Last year, I have to start working 1 week before, gathering all the information, like how many workshops I have done, where I have done, what I have covered, what new projects I was throughout the year. So it's year-end reflection. So please do visit my blog and hopefully that would be helpful. SlideShare is also sometime I upload slides on SlideShare. Yeah, this is the X Twitter. That's my handler. Okay, in conclusion, micro-credentials, they are transforming the landscape of learning. So that's the future of learning. And as I was telling you, mobile friendly. So soon, I know in Tehran, I have been several times, there are a lot of jams, like traffic jam. So just imagine if you could convert into a podcast while waiting to clear the traffic, you could cover one topic. So easily, same in Kuala Lumpur also, where I'm living. Every day, 2 to 3 hours, we are on the road, stuck. So we could better utilize that time if our micro-credential courses are mobile devices friendly. Okay. I was even discussing revisit the concept. Like last time we have television channels teaching, radio stations. So I think we should revisit that. Maybe Smart University of Medical Sciences should have a radio station, FM radio station. So while you are stuck in traffic jam, you could hear Dr. Ahmedi giving a lecture, like or Professor, Taibi, he can, cover. So that's how. This is where the future of learning comes in, through addressing and adopting the dynamic world. So by embracing this innovation and leveraging technology and focusing on real world needs, what is required, I think we can unlock the future, full potential of micro-credentials and how we can upskill our medical educators. Okay, this in summary, I started with introducing to you about micro-credential, different terminology, the latest trend, share with screenshot of Coursera report. I think just remind me, I will upload the Coursera report in the chat. You can read, go through, then share some of the current trends when it comes to micro-credentials. I touch a bit on digital badges and how you could actually make digital badges very powerful, that companies no need to request degree. They can actually go and verify your digital badge and it got value, and it can overcome a lot of issues, a lot of, just imagine like to verify a degree, sometimes you need to travel, you need to go and meet the registrar, right? To verify that yes, it's a original degree, and sometimes they chop. And just imagine we have a digital badge. The moment you click that digital badge, verified. It's like the way we book flight tickets, they give you code, you go in, you verify, and the gamification. And then I think elaborate a lot on video-based micro-learning content, because what we do when we stuck or face some challenge or problem, we always go, I personally prefer watching a video. If I got some issues with my phone, how to fix that, rather than reading, I will watch a short video and I will fix in less than 3 minutes. Okay. Your car could not start in the morning. What you will do? Go Google about a YouTube video or video. I think you have Aparat. That's a platform for videos in Iran. Very powerful. I have created my channel there. I uploaded few videos there, and sometimes I go and watch live. So amazing. So you go video-based content, that is majority. And now I was telling you mobile friendly, so you come up with the voice enabled podcast. Then engagement strategies, so that covers that. Assessment, I touch a bit, but I just trying to highlight to you, do the constructive alignment, what you want to achieve and how best you could assess. And or even you can have a scenario-based or virtual reality or augmented reality environment to test your learners. And then I shared with you some of the open educational resources, search engines and tools. So now I open, thank you for paying attention, and I'm open for question and answer.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Hassan. And
It's my
you were
pleasure.
very fruitful and very informative webinar, and very good information and knowledge that you gave us. First of all, I want to ask from Professor Ahmadi, one of our very, let's say, great professor. He is the national board member of medical education, and he is in our webinar, and he had some, let's say, comment. I'm asking Professor Ahmadi to say us something about this webinar and get more, let's say, information and what and his comments in this time. Thank you. Dr. Ahmadi, would you please
Yeah, he's
tell us something about this
requesting
webinar?
access. Let me.
Give me access. Okay, I don't know how can I give access. Can you? I'm giving the access to you. Let's say.
Yeah, I think you just need to
Okay.
unmute. Yeah.
Okay, let's unmute him. Dr. Ahmadi. Okay,
Hello?
please
Hello, do you have my
answer.
voice?
Yes,
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 yes.
we can.
Please.
Okay.
Would you please open
I
your
don't have
video too?
camera.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
I
don't
don't
have
have
camera.
camera.
Okay. Thank you.
If you give the access to via camera, that would be great.
Okay, I'm giving, yes. I'm giving. Please open your camera, Professor Ahmadi.
It's open.
Okay. I don't know how, because we gave the.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay, yes.
That's great.
Now,
Hello.
how are you? Nice
Okay,
meeting you
thank you very
here, and
much.
this is our honor to have you in this webinar and have your comment, Professor Ahmadi. As you know, and all the colleagues know, Professor Ahmadi is the very famous professor of our country and a very well-known professor in the field of medical education. And as you know, the board member of medical education, and we have many things, we learn many things from him. And then now, in this time, I'm asking him to tell us something about this webinar and this moment. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Hasni, my dear friend and colleague. It was
Pleasure.
I learned a lot. It has both skill and knowledge. I increase both of the. Thank you very much. I think the most important part of the macro-credential courses is the instructional design. I mean, when designing instruction for micro-credential courses, it's essential to consider several principles that you have already mentioned. Some of this is very important. This principle that we should consider once while we are going to design and deliver the micro-credential course, like as you said, learner-centered design, or we can have a modular and flexible structure for the course, and we can have a content that this kind of content will be interactive and engaging, and also the practical and the relevancy for application of, the subject that we are going to talk about. And also the feedback is very important, especially the formative feedback is very important, as well as summative one. But the formative feedback and the formative assessment are very important, like the quiz, assignment, and peer review, and provide ongoing feedback and help the learner track their progress. And also the collaboration and the community is very important. The community of practitioners, the community of learner, that they come along to learn lots of skill, and is very important once we are going to design instructionally micro-credential courses. And also, as I said, the continuous improvement like the CPD and CME, continuous professional development, and the feedback loop for the continuous improvement are very important, and the integration of technology. And we can use the user-friendly platform, as you will show some of this platform, free platform. And also about the data analytics, and learning analysis are very important. Data analytic for this kind of courses are very important. This and also the motivation and engagement, or the engagement is very important, and motivation is very important for skill-based program like the micro-credential, and they can have a lifelong learning and get the master level of skill. So thank you very much. I just wanted to rephrase my learning about the instructional design concerning the micro-credential. That was great, and thank you, Hasnain, and thank you, Dr. Ahmadi, for arranging such a good webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think you have summarized very well, and you touch. I think I missed that part, the dashboard thing which you have highlighted. Yeah, very good, very good. Thanks for the feedback.
Thanks again from Professor Ahmadi for adding these fruitful comments, and let's say wrapping up very let's say completely. Okay, is there any question from the other colleagues? Okay, I think all the colleagues are thanking, giving the gratitude to us, to you, and then Professor Ahmed, thank you very much. At the end of this very fruitful webinar, I'd like to say thanks to Professor Tayyebi, the ECOSF president, that gave us this, let's say, chance to have this. And if you have any to tell us, Professor Tayyebi, the floor is yours, and then please tell us something about. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmadi, and thank you, Dr. Baloch. As the beginning of the webinar, I said, I'm sure it is very fruitful to us. Today we learn, but also hello to Dr. Ahmadi. Just very pleased to see you. Just maybe I have one question, Dr. Baloch. You talk about of course, the importance of micro-credentials courses, of course, to be used, for different fields, especially for medical fields, medical courses, and so on. And also we do have, technology enhanced learning, right? So it is again an approach. How can you compare between these approaches? Is the credential, micro-credential, is a part of TL or technology enhanced learning, or vice versa? This is, my question, or would you like to know, as you are, of course, expert in learning, right?
Yeah, no, very nice question actually you asked. And if I recall in my session, I also highlighted, like um, when I was sharing, Uber technology model where we have on the right side learning designers and left side we have learners. Then some school of thoughts, they don't believe or don't agree that we have learning styles. But I personally do believe everyone have multiple learning styles. So then how we merge all these two, and in that technology is a part, but we should not select technology at the start.
Right.
We should ask ourselves what outcome we need to achieve, how we want to achieve that outcome. Then technology enhanced learning will come for sure, because without technology enhanced learning, um, we can't, how to say, like accelerate or elevate. Like I gave you example when 60 years ago, 100 years ago, if some surgeon doing some different technique in another city, we go and spend some time with them as a apprenticeship, with that surgeon, and then we learn that skill. But now technology enhanced learning will ease. We can actually collaborate in any part of the world in so I think I totally agree with you. Technology enhanced learning is there, but the only thing, we should not start with technology enhanced learning. We should start with pedagogy. We should start with outcome, do the constructive alignment, and the last thing will be tool and technology. That would be my say. Hopefully it's clear. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you very much. Do you have any other comment, Professor Taibi?
Learn about about learning, and that was interesting, and I think it is applicable to all of fields. As I'm an economist, I would like to to learn, and I think this approach, micro credential courses especially, would be comprehensively used for all courses, not just for medical courses, because because the one of the concept is commercialization of the courses, and of course is using for any training program, any even in short or long term courses in this respect. Thank you very much, and I would like to and hope to continue our such collaborations between
Thank you.
your university, Dr. Ahmadi, and our organization ECOSF, as both together we have initiating this very important webinars and subject in this respect, right?
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
anyway. Thank you very much.
I'd like to say again my gratitude to you and your dear colleagues that provide us this platform to have such a very fruitful webinar. That the lessons learned from this micro-credential webinar: one is focus on needs, two is flexibility, and three is having a big picture perspective that we learned, and then we learned from Professor Ahmadi to tell us. And the thing that in the last or the last slides of Dr. Baluch is the thing that I take a picture. Pedagogy is the driver, and this is the technology, the importance of technology. Pedagogy is the driver, but the technology is the accelerator, not the main things. And then the passion, the love of teaching, the love for teaching is the gas. And thank you very much from the all, let's say, great professors that are attending in this webinar and telling us many good things. Hopefully we could have again such a webinar in near future, and I invite any of professors that are attending in this webinar to have such a lecture, such a webinar with us. We are eagerly and enthusiastically waiting for your message to start collaborating and start arranging this webinar for near future. Do you have any comment, Dr. Ahmadi, Professor Ahmadi, at the end?
You need to
Okay,
unmute,
please.
Prof. Please
Okay,
unmute.
open your mic, please.
I think, Dr. Ahmadi, you need to unmute.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we can.
Nice.
Yes, perfect.
You unmuted me. Just one point. I think that the micro-credential courses has indication for the interdisciplinary learning also. It's very important. One of the advantage of the micro-credential courses is interdisciplinary education or interdisciplinary learning, because it's encourage blending skills from different discipline and fostering the innovation as well. But the problem is, may it not provide the depth and the specialized knowledge that they require for some fields, but still it has its advantage in the interdisciplinary learning, and this is, I think, very important for convergence and interprofessional education and this kind of education. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your very good comments. Interdisciplinary approach is very important in today's life of, let's say, academic life and in the world. So, inshallah, in the near future, we have a good webinar in this regard, interdisciplinary approach in education or medical education with the approach of interdisciplinary. It's a very good, let's say, topic that Professor Ahmadi told us, and then hopefully, inshallah, in the near future, we could have a webinar with this topic. Thank you very much. Is there any question from their colleagues that they are attending in this webinar? If there is no, I'd like to say my thanks again to all of you, especially to Dr. Baluch, especially to President of ECOSF, Professor Taibi, and Professor Ahmadi that helped us in this regard, and my dear colleagues in IUMS, in SMSUMS, in SMUMS, the Smart University of Medical Sciences, Mrs. Arbani, Mrs. Keshavars, and Mrs. Akrami and Mrs. Ruzbahani that they help us in arranging this. And then in this time, I'd like to say my goodbye to you. And then if you, Dr. Baluch, do you want to say something? Yes.
No.
No,
Yeah,
thank you.
please go ahead.
Dr. Ahmadi, I should say, thanks to my colleagues as well, because today is weekend to us, and my colleague, Mr. Khalid Reza, Bilal, are, moderating and, for the program.
I said, because of this today is holiday, and
Right.
unfortunately, we arranged it before, we cannot change, because the holiday don't let us have the other colleagues from other countries, because they are on holiday too. So it is a very special gratitude to your colleagues and to you, because of the holiday today. It is, let's say, Saturday, and in Pakistan and every other countries, I think it is holiday to Dr. Baluch to come with us here. But we arranged this time before, and we cannot change it. But
That's great. That's great. Okay, no problem.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'd like to say again my thanks to Engineer Khalil Reza, Bilal, and the other colleagues that I don't know their name, but please give my gratitude to them and the other colleagues here. Thank you very much. If there's no message and any comments, I'd like to, let's say, finish this webinar with the allowance of the professors that are attending, and then inshallah, we will see you in another webinar in near future with Mr. Hasnain, because we take his promise to have another webinar with the other title. I will announce in near future, and then the other colleagues that if they have topics and they can make us a good webinar, we'll have inshallah in near future. Thank you very much again. Hopefully you next webinar, inshallah. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Salam.
Bye.
Okay.